All right, good morning everyone and welcome to my channel. This sponsored interview is brought to you by Hacken, and I would like to start by thanking the CEO of CER, Dmytro, and his business development partner, Anton, for joining me today. Welcome, guys.
Hello, Alex. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
So let's just jump right into it.
My name is Dmytro, yeah, and my
name
colleague.
is Anton. Yeah.
Dmytro
is CEO.
Yeah, that would be the CEO. So most of my subscribers probably saw my previous review of your project and may have a good grasp on what Hacken is. But those of who possibly didn't, could you give an overview of the project quickly?
Yeah, sure. Well, the Hacken ecosystem is a tokenized environment where all payments and transactions are conducted via the cybersecurity utility token, actually, which is called Hacken. And Hacken's mission actually is to improve the overall cybersecurity standards around the globe. So we provide a bunch of products actually, and the Hacken Proof is the bug bounty platform which unite white hat hackers globally, and so Hacken is actually the first tokenized bug bounty platform on the global scale, and it is the first and only bug bounty platform in Central and Eastern Europe. So we also provide smart contract audit and anti-phishing services.
That's very cool, and I've seen a lot of talk about the importance of smart contract auditing, because obviously we've seen issues with that, and making sure that those are safe and reliable is definitely a very important aspect of crypto. I didn't realize that you guys were the first tokenized platform for bug bounties. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is so. Actually, we have a great mission.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah, to set up the highest standards on the globe.
That's very cool. So on June 1st, you guys released a closed beta of your CER, which is known as the Crypto Exchange Ranks. And you released it for influential people in the crypto space, pretty much just to test it out. So can you go over the purpose of what the CER is, your overall goal, and also if you have any feedback that you've gotten so far from the beta testers about it?
Well, first of all, our main goal is to set clear and short standards of on the whole crypto economy as to cryptocurrency exchanges operate, and the Crypto Exchange Ranks is the first complex and sophisticated rating service which provide all-inclusive, objective cryptocurrency exchange ratings.
So you guys are basically making a way to rank these exchanges to show other people kind of how trustworthy they are, their liquidity, and other things like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Based on a thorough analysis of broad risks such as liquidity, cybersecurity, public opinion sensitivity, withdrawal and limits, blockchain balances, we offer access to analytical information.
That's very useful. I'd imagine you are the first people to do this, correct?
Yeah, correct. With such a set of products, we're the first and only service that provides such a broad set of analytics. Actually, yes.
Very cool.
We'll talk about our ratings, so we are the only on the globe scale. But yeah.
So what problem is CER trying to solve that's going on in the market?
Well, everybody know that nowadays almost 200 crypto exchanges exist nowadays, and all these cryptocurrency exchanges generate a whole universe of data to be processed to make proper investment and trading decision. So the problem number one is to how to collect all this data together and in order to further analyze this data to make a proper decision. So we collect all the data together automatically using our algorithms and models. We store it using our databases and analyze them and convert into a professional and intuitive platform representation.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And
I would admit that decentralization is very good when we talk about blockchain technologies as a whole, but I'm not sure that it's so great when we talk about more than 200 exchanges, because actually we have big doubts that all of these exchanges are following the best world practices from the classical financial markets. So our aim is to bring all sophisticated tools and analytical tools from the classical financial market to the crypto market and just raise the efficiency of the crypto market.
Yeah, to make crypto market secured,
transparent, and more efficient.
Yeah, well, yeah. And you make a good point. I mean, there's a time and a place for decentralization, and it's definitely very useful with blockchain tech. But when we have exchanges that are not disclosing their information, not being transparent, maybe being dishonest, it's not fair or safe, you know, for the community to have to worry about those kinds of things. So I think the project that you're developing is absolutely needed and going to be very useful.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, especially taking into account that you know, everybody have a concern that crypto exchanges manipulate with real trade volumes. Mm-hmm. So you know, so we aim to resolve this problem.
But you were talking about how the exchange ranks are going to show real market liquidity versus kind of what we're worried about in a traditional sense, where we're not getting that with the exchanges that we're working with now. So, and people are worried that maybe that they're being dishonest about the kind of liquidity that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned that CER has 4 major components. So would you want to describe each one of those in detail?
Yeah, so actually, sorry, did you ask about scoring dashboards or us? So yeah, 4 components. Anton?
Yeah. The first and as a financer, I should admit that it's my favorite one. It's liquidity. So it's I think one of the hugest areas with a lot of issues. We would like to bring to the community, to the whole crypto market, the real liquidity and all the sophisticated, like classic tools to measure it. And like, for example, the one feature that our platform will show is the prices, not just best bid, best ask prices, but effective ones.
Yeah, Anton says about effective quotes calculation.
Got it.
You know, and trading volumes aggregation and the ability to compare the markets by bid and asks and the better volumes and better liquidity. So that is, and as well as about arbitrage opportunities dashboard. So we are not unique with that, but we are unique in terms of the coverage of the markets. So
sure.
And it's all real-time calculations, real-time analysis of all this broad range of data, and we are showing you all the effective prices in real time. Actually, if we see to the tech stack, it is not so easy to realize.
Mm-hmm. So this is about liquidity, real-time analytics, and well, but we are completely unique with our scoring models. Actually, that our scoring dashboard displays an information calculated by scoring models by four main blocks: liquidity, cybersecurity, public opinion, and withdrawal and limits. Actually, yes, and yeah.
Cool. So with all of those components, what methods and tools do you guys use in your analysis?
Well, we use our specifically developed economic mathematical models. We use artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, as well as natural language processing for our public opinion sensitivity of crypto exchanges, and for sentiment analysis. And surely we make cybersecurity assessment thanks to Hacken's team.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of components. I'd imagine that's very difficult to organize and do all the stuff that you're doing with that data and that information.
Thank you.
So, oh, do you have something to add?
No. I said as is, yeah.
So you guys claim to be the Objective Crypto Exchange's ratings provider. So how can the general public be sure that you guys are, in fact, objective and transparent?
Well, first of all, we use automatically worked algorithms, so that to avoid manual calculations. And you know what we do, we actually automate all the processes and all the developed algorithms. So we only for separate researches, market researches, we use manual analysis, but so not very manual, but so our rating service are completely automated. And first of all, we have a great team of experts, you know, with PhD diplomas in different areas. The thing is not PhD diplomas, but the real experience. Actually, we really have a great team. So I believe in some 2 weeks on our webpage we will disclose the information about the team. So this is the first layer and our basics, you know. And the second one, our advisory board, which consists of 5 persons with practical experience in such domains as quantitative finance and econometrics, trading, exchange trading, cybersecurity, natural language processing, and strategy development. Actually, our board members are acting professors of Erasmus University in Rotterdam, University of Lausanne in Switzerland, and lecturers from Harvard University. So actually, yeah, and the dean, by the way, who is the dean of the leading Ukrainian business school, actually.
Oh, so you've got a team of some pretty heavy hitters. It sounds like.
Yeah, but that is not all yet. You know, the thing is that currently we are negotiating with Big 4 companies, and to make a technical audit to clarify 2 things. First of all, to prove that our descriptions and our declarations really corresponds with the methodologies and algorithms that we use. And the second thing, to audit and to prove that there is no space for manipulation with our ratings and figures. So that is, I suppose that somewhere in the beginning of September we will finish this audit. So to ensure with no doubts all our commitments and declarations.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're auditing yourself and you're making sure that everything is corresponding, then you're kind of doing your due diligence. So that's important.
Mm-hmm.
So who's your target audience for this? Is it the crypto market as a whole? Are you focused on more specific users?
Well, by and large, we cover not only crypto markets, but also those companies from real economy who do not have investment exposure yet on crypto markets, but who have exposure. I mean, analytical exposure. For example, we met APG pension fund, the biggest Dutch pension fund, who runs, which manages $550 billion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they, for example, they do not have an exposure for crypto economy in terms of investments and trading, but they pursue thorough analysis, conduct thorough analysis of crypto economy and all the opportunities generated by it. Definitely, our analytics bring values to individual and institutional investors and brokers and traders, as well as crypto exchanges and even governmental regulators.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that if you're proving the strength of exchanges and you're able to prove these things, it's going to make people more interested in coming into crypto and being a part of it, because it's going to be a little bit more transparent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very cool. So I love to see projects working together or utilizing other projects' tools. And I saw that you guys are working with VeChain. And so that's going to set the stage for other projects to start taking their security more seriously. So how did you manage to onboard them as a client? Did they come to you directly? Did you guys reach out to them?
Mm-hmm. So actually, it is not a secret that Hacken now has a very good reputation for cybersecurity services. And thanks to our community of cybersecurity specialists. So, and during our active work on Asian markets, while Dmytro Budorin was meeting with VeChain executives, we found that VeChain was looking for experts to collaborate. So actually, we quickly agreed to pursue such collaboration together. So that's it.
So it was a group decision, basically. So you guys kind of went in on it together.
Yeah.
So,
but I suppose that is thanks for our good reputation.
Yeah, they're not going to want to work with you if they don't think that you know what you're doing. And so obviously you've made a point that you do. So that's very cool. Do you have your sights set on any other crypto projects that you want to work with in the future?
Yes, sure. Actually, we have a bunch of projects to work in future. And I suppose that this is the domain of Dmytro Budorin, who is communicating to the community. So just keep in touch with our community, at least in Telegram, and we will know it soon.
Yeah, right. Well, and I think that's the one thing that's very interesting about crypto is everybody's accessible, so it's easier for the average person to get involved in a project, get answers immediately, talk to somebody that's in the team because of Telegram, because of these channels that we have now. So I think it's definitely nice from the traditional way that we used to do things. So who would you consider your biggest competitor, either in a traditional sense or in the crypto setting? And do you believe that there's alternatives to what you guys are offering?
Well, I believe that there are no alternatives yet in crypto economy. There are alternatives in real economy, such as Bloomberg and Thomson Reuters. So, but I believe that we create more sophisticated tools that in real economy. So, I would say that our key competitors are Bloomberg and Thomson Reuters.
In the traditional setting, yeah, that makes sense. And you had said that you guys are the only one doing this in the crypto space as far as the exchange ranks too, and obviously your bug bounty stuff. So very cool.
Yes.
The project is obviously very complex, so I'd imagine implementing all of these features and all of these things takes some time. When can the community expect the MVP release stage?
Well, Alex, we are about to make our MVP release in some 1 week. I believe that we will be able to make this release on the 15th of June. But yeah, somewhere that.
It's a loose date.
We are doing our best.
Yeah.
We just want to fix all the possible and impossible bugs
that we discover. Yeah, that is a quite standard process, usual process, just fixing bugs. And
well, I think most of the time communities are understanding when projects, if they're early or they're a little late on deadlines, especially when it comes to stuff like you guys are doing, which is very important for security, so you really want to get it right. So I think if you're taking your time and you're working hard at it, I don't think anybody's going to get upset if you're a few days behind it and whatnot. So, but
for sure,
I guess you'll find out in Telegram, right? So
right.
How and why do you collect the blockchain balances data, and how will it help to make the crypto market more transparent?
That's also a very interesting tool that we are going to provide. So we don't use any proprietary data. We just analyze blockchain and use our proprietary developed algorithm of analyzing blockchain and identifying hot and cold wallets of exchanges. After that, we are trying to specify which exact one is more likely hot wallet, which one is cold, and then just tracking it on real time, tracking balances, tracking all the transactions into the wallet and out. Then after that, we just aggregate all this data, and we are showing the aggregated data on our platform. I hope that it will help to make the exchanges and the whole market more transparent, because any user will have much better, much more precise evaluation of the assets and funds which every exchange possesses.
Yeah, and it's going to be nice because people are obviously going to be able to pick and choose what exchanges they're using based on the information that you're giving them, and maybe who they trust or who they feel is it has more liquidity or whatever. So that's very cool. What is your strategic roadmap, and what are your priorities as far as future development goes?
Well, first of all, we're planning to increase our exposure on the direct market data collection, and we plan to within the MVP we have 18 crypto exchanges being covered, and we plan to expand it. And second, we have a strategic goal to implement users' accounts integration so that in further perspective to customize our analytics and products according to users' profiles. And the third thing is very important to us, is to create portfolio modeling analytics, such as, for example, capital allocation and portfolio modeling analytic tools, which help to form optimal investment portfolios and make the backtracking of investment and trading decisions of our users.
Yeah.
For example.
Oh, go ahead.
For example, why does it matter? Because the last statistic which we got is very unhappy, because about 88% of crypto market participants doesn't have not even a deep, but even a light clue into the classical financial tools. So I'm not sure that this part of traders and investors will be able to form the optimal portfolios, which is quite easy thing for the huge investment firms, investment banks, etc. in the classical finance.
I'm actually not even surprised by that number, if I'm being honest, that You said 88% of people?
8%. Yes.
That's crazy.
We also were surprised. We thought that this number is big, but couldn't imagine that so much. So
well, I mean, that gives you a pretty good insight into the kinds of people that are in the crypto space. So that in itself was pretty good information. So before I move on to the questions from Reddit, is there anybody else in your team that you didn't mention, or parts of the team that you want to kind of talk about and introduce, or?
Well, we will introduce all our team publicly, in some 2 weeks, I believe. So
very
that
cool.
is.
Oh, that's right. You said you're going to update the website, right?
Very, very important to understand that in our focus groups we have a real crypto market traders and investors who assist us and help us to develop strategically important products. Strategically important not from our own understanding, but from the turn of the customers.
Yeah, it's good to get input too from people unlike yourself and traditional people who are using it to understand kind of what they're looking for and what they need. So my next questions are now from Reddit. And so the community, I guess, has theories about what platform you guys are planning to use when you switch. Are you at liberty to discuss that at all, or?
Well, initially we analyzed EOS and VeChain, but currently our community are voting which platform will be best suitable for us and will the best choice. And I believe then very soon Dmytro Budorin will disclose our solution.
Yeah, people are definitely excited about that. That was a comment I saw a lot on Reddit. And even before I asked questions to get, for the video, it was definitely something I saw. Everybody's theorizing about what it's going to be, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
So another user was interested with your progress with VeChain, more specifically any bugs that you found on their platform. So I see that in the Medium post, it was mentioned that they're a private client. Does that mean that you're unable to share what you found or discuss it?
Well, initially we have our collaboration it was protected by NDA and the non-disclosure agreement. But I suppose that next week we will disclose the details of our collaborations and bugs found.
Well, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Mostly because obviously everybody, it's a big name. People know VeChain, so it's definitely going to get a lot of a talk and views and stuff. So I look forward to hearing about that. So, as usual, there's always the typical exchange question, but somebody stated that a month ago, the team stated that they had secured a new exchange, but still unsure of the dates, and that they would love an update on that if you could give it.
Well, I would like to update on that, but this is domain of Dmytro Budorin, CEO of Hacken, so he will update the community in very short time.
Good to know. There's always, without fail, I always get an exchange question, so it's kind of like customary at this point. So do you have any upcoming product releases or announcements that you're excited about?
Well, actually, as I mentioned, that we have upcoming MVP release in 1 week, and after that, each quarter we are going to release new products within crypto exchange ranks. And just join us.
Yeah, you guys have a lot going on.
With the first and the only rating service and such analytical agency in crypto economy. So let's set the most clear and professional standards on the crypto economy. So let's voice the industry together.
Yeah, and I mean, it's about time that somebody does that. We have to, if we want crypto to grow and be adopted and we want new people to come in and want to be a part of it, we have to make it safer and more fair, and there has to be a little bit, some regulation, some honesty is not a bad thing, especially when people are putting their money in there. So,
absolutely.
But I mean, those are all the questions that I have. So is there anything else you'd like to add?
Anton?
Just wait for release, follow us, join us, and we are always open for all your feedbacks, and we are waiting for them because we are long runners and are going to improve our service continuously.
I like it. I like it. Well, I look forward to seeing, the next couple months and what you guys are doing. And I think that the project is very, very cool. So I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you very much, guys.